Hey, what's up, everybody? I think we're good to go here. I'm just trying to get restream. It's a little bit of a pain tonight. Alrighty, go ahead and free up some CPU space here. Should be good to go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the NDA Podcast. I'm Rob D. And new format. Working on a new format tonight. So I'm going to spend the first hour drawing, inking some spawn kills every spawn, and then I'm going to switch over to video. I'm going to play some old art while I work on new pages I can't share. So that is how we're going to do that for about an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and just set my timer here on my phone. 1 hour. There we go. All right, and we'll go ahead and just get to work. Let's go ahead and take. Wow. You love it when you go to take a photo and it's on video. I always love when that happens. Alrighty, let me just post this. How y'all doing tonight? Is in my. I forgot to type this out before I start, so. All right. Hey, what's up, Zombie? All right, let's get to work. Let's kind of work on the background, this back area right now. So we'll get this all done. Get most of it. I'm hoping to be able to continue this daily-ish, but we'll see. We'll see. I hate saying I'm going to do something and then, time doesn't really allow that to happen. Your thumbnail for the stream has a typo. Hey, thanks for letting me know that. I can't change it, so oh well. I'll fix it. busy day. One of those days where like so much is happening and yet not a lot getting done. You can't have that right now. Too busy. So I was streaming for a couple hours today with my buddy Steven Sanchez over at his Sketch Sanchez YouTube channel. I was working on this there too, so that's pretty sad. I'll fix it. Thanks. But I gotta make like multiples of that thumbnail anyway, like with different color schemes and stuff. So I'll fix it then. I think I'm gonna do a version of that NDA podcast where it's more like kind of glossy. You know, right now it's just sort of like a matte color, like the X-Men thing. But I think I'm gonna make like more of a cell shaded glossy version of that too. So I will fix it. But yeah, I was on his. He did his 100th episode streaming today. We were on there working on this, and I was like, all right, well, I want to get used to streaming around this time anyway again, so I'd like to go back to doing it during the day, but I don't know how that's going to be possible. So might be night streams again. Isn't the best for views, I'm not going to lie. I get better views in the middle of the day when everyone's supposed to be working. But what can I do? What can I do? Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just alternate it. I don't know. I like to keep a regular schedule, but I don't know. What I like and what actually happens are two different things. Do-do-do. Yeah, and then I got this spawn formers thing. Draw on the back.
This is actually why I do digital inks, because this is how I just draw. Well, normally I would just do this and then trace it digitally, but on this project, I came up with the process of converting my rough lines into final lines and then just finishing digitally. I'll be honest, before I did this book series, I did not have that process down. Something I sort of invented for myself how to get that done. So now, in my so-called free time, we'll just be making this version of it. So I have the pages. Time is just my enemy. You can do all the work, but time to do the amount of work I want to do and the amount of hours that are possible. Fine. I mean, I can slowly work my way through all the pages over the next year, you know? Because I'll still be doing commissions, and I only have an hour to do this sort of thing a day. I won't always be doing these pages. I actually got a commission I gotta get through here pretty quickly. So probably stream that. But my drawing is a little more gestural than you'd think. Because of, hey, what's up? Because of like carpal tunnel and stuff. So I don't do really tight pencils or anything anymore. And I stopped doing that around 2010 or so. Like I just got looser. So that's why my clean stuff is digital, because I can control pressure. But to get really clean things requires precision. You end up straining your hand. I don't care what anyone says. And I refuse to do that. This allows my... I mean, it looks fine when you look at it, but like, if you want to put this next to the one that's in the book, it's not... I mean, that's why I would still have to do digital inks. No way around it. Somebody says, your thoughts on Incredible 3 being announced. I think that it's no coincidence that Inside Out 2 just beat its record, and then for Incredibles 2, and then all of a sudden Incredibles 3 gets announced. Personally, I wish they had made a Frozone movie instead of Incredibles 2. That movie also got cut a year, I think, of production. Brad feels he has something to prove, then prove it.
Because how are you supposed to get such bold, distinct lines without pressing the pencil on the paper like you're trying to draw behind? And I like to shade with red when I do my pencils, which does not help, you know, the final lines. We just do it the other way around now. Invincible. Mario says a lot of digital artists do that though. At least the ones you watch shade with red before coloring. I don't know what shade with red before coloring. Draw on red pencil, you mean? Trace over? I don't know, man. But digitally it's layered, but traditionally it doesn't make any sense. Look, it looks great. I got the lines for the cover one printed. You know, it's an actual exclusive, so. The traditional lines. And you know, when they do the traditional lines this way, at least it has more character. The digital ones are meant for color. I had one guy review me. He goes, "Man, this guy needs a color." So I'm like, "Yeah, it's designed for color, man. Like the book's gonna be colored. That's how it works, you know." It's like seeing the pencils for Beauty and the Beast, you know, and it not being colored. Like, no, man, it designed whatever. I see in color when I draw. I see the final image, so I'm always drawing with the color in mind, which is why I generally color my own work. I don't draw and then go figure out what the color is. I base it around the color before I even start. Which is why I try to really, in this case, this is the first time I work with the colors since 2009 or 10. And so it's like, um, I really work with Robert Nugent on the colors just so he knows. I'm like, I designed it to be this, you know. He's super nice enough to like not fight me on that one, you know. Mad respect for Mr. Nugent. Super cool dude. I'm not a digital artist or a traditional artist. I'm just an artist, you know. Whatever I use is to make certain that the end result looks the way I want the end result to look like. That's it. These streams will be nice because then people will see, like, yeah, I can draw all this stuff. Not only can I draw all this stuff traditionally, might be a little bit looser, but it's all there. And look, now I'm doing it twice. Could you? Could you draw your whole thing twice? You know? I just think like we're living in a world now, man, where everything's about productivity. So I want to slow that productivity down. You know, I want to focus less on making a bunch of new stuff and just
focus on making whatever the task is at hand.
Speed is what gave us AI.
Let's get the spawn topic. The spawn topic logo. But I like color hold lines, and asking the colors to do color holds with this kind of traditional ink is basically impossible. So digitally, I'm able to keep everything layered, so it's really not hard. Oh, I love Rob, dude. He's a good dude. We got to hang out at Comic Con,
And I give him a lot of praise for dealing with what I throw at him. You know, I mean, this is not an expensive book to produce, considering, you know, like, they're not throwing a ton of money at this book, so like, we're all putting in way more than what we're getting paid, kind of deal. We're getting paid well, but you know what I mean. It's, you know, we're all sort of, to ask a colorist to put up with this is
props to him for dealing with it. And I know because I've worked with colors who've been like, oh no. Like on the digital versions of this, I did the flats because it was before I did this before there was a colorist, and I wasn't certain if I would color the thing myself, but there's no time for it. So we had some downtime, so I did all the flats on this, and I even did my own version that was colored, but Todd thought it might be a little too colorful. So when Rob came on board, we scaled the color scheme back so it's a little bit more muted how it is in the book. Omega Mars says the silly cartoon spin-off isn't getting as much love as the main series. No, that's great. We outsold the main series though. We outsold it last month. So I don't think we're gonna do that the second time, but for the first issue, pretty good. Baymax, do you have any of your favorite work framed? No, I don't have any of my artwork framed on the walls. Yeah, we're the 5th highest selling indie book for the month of July. The only other Image book that was above us was Witchblade. And then it was some Skybound books, and then us. We beat Saga. You can believe it. And the main Spawn book came number 10. But, I mean, that's not going to hold, Like, second issues always sell less. But pretty good, right? Even if that's all I ever accomplish, I mean, I'll take it. We were done Transformers. I did covers for Transformers First Strike, and that was an experience. I still have those covers. I never sold them. They offered me a series, but I turned it down. This is just a lot of lines. Every character had a lot of lines, and I don't enjoy it. I was like, there has to be a better way to draw Transformers that doesn't involve a million lines per. Because the problem with Transformers is there's never just one. There's always like a bunch of them. Hence Transformers. So it's like just drawing lines on characters to make them feel more robotic. And the minute, I don't know, whatever Daniel Warren Johnson's doing with the ink brush pen is probably the smarter approach. Him and Jorge Corona. But I myself would never accept the Transformers. Kidding. I have no interest in doing that ever again. What year was that? You stopped reading them? That was 2017. I did the covers for First Strike. It was the G.I. Joe Transformers. It was one of those crossovers I did. Max Dunbar drew the interiors. I was supposed to do all the main covers, but they canceled that, and Will Spertasio did the main cover, and they made me cover D. And they told me they were the lowest selling covers they had all year. I'm like, well, one, no one knows who the fuck I am, so it doesn't make any sense for me to be an incentive cover, And two, I mean, I was trying to draw the trying to put my style on them, and it just didn't go over very well. And then they art directed me the last 2 covers because they thought whatever I wasn't doing, whatever I was doing wasn't making sales. So those covers are horrible. They kept telling me the 6th cover's so fucking bad, dude. I leave it up. I'm like, you want to see what happens when someone asks for too much shit on a cover? Go look at that one. You know? Because I had all my layouts for the covers already done and colored out before I started for all 6, and I got the approval, and then, you know. Negamar says, that animated series back in 2006, like the Tremors look there. Yeah, but I don't want to draw a kid's book. Here's the thing, man. I just don't want to draw things their way. I want to draw things my way. And if I'm not the right fit, then I'm not drawing the book. You know? I just can't get around drawing. It just doesn't work. Sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, I'm like, this one isn't for me, man. You know? Sometimes you're just not the right person for the job. Now they're using like graphic ink work to kind of get around all that, you know? And but I don't do graphic ink work like they do. That's not good. Yeah, I just can't see a way through it, you know? And this Transformers fans didn't want something that looked animated. They were getting Alex Malign, or they were getting really basic graphic stuff. There was some basic drawn books, but I didn't like the way those looked either for me. I don't know, guys, you know, sometimes you just can't get your head around something. The Transformers stuff put me off on doing anything comics for a long time, and I didn't. I stayed away from it. So, you know, I think I mean, there's a whole different regime there now, so I don't think they'd care anymore, but I was persona non grata there for a little bit. I turned down the series, and I turned down doing the Yokoi Watch covers. It's like, it took a year to get back to me on like approvals, and I was like, and then when I did, it's like I'm rounding off corners and making everything super generic, and I'm like, oh, no longer this guy, you know, that can come in here and be like, oh, I'm gonna just draw it the way it looks in the style guide. Like, I'm not gonna do that. And that's been the hardest transition, folks. Transitioning from being
a gun for hire, or the guy that can bring something that they do to the book. And if they don't want what I do to the book, then there's no reason for us to be talking now, is there? Now if it turns out there's no market for my art, like no one gives a shit, then that's fine. But also, like, I would say, uh, all them cats who go, oh, the books look the same. Well, not all of them, you know. But curve chains. I went through the same thing with Big Dog Ink. I was drawing these like J. Scott Campbell like style covers because that's what they wanted. And the minute I stopped doing that, we moved on. I was like, I don't want to draw like J. Scott Campbell. Guess we're done here. I tried to make it work, but then they just complained about how I drew, so well, we're done. Mega says, had to look them up real quick, and I gotta say the cover you did for First Strike 2 is probably your favorite. Might be a yes man, but it's the only one that really feels like Transformers and you. I don't know, man. I stand by covers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Five and 6, they don't stand by. They made me put ROM on that cover. I mean, now I would take a much different approach, but I would just turn down the project and do my own thing. Go, nope. I mean, I blame myself. I hit them up because the guy that used to run Ape Entertainment took over, Dave Hedgecock, and I knew him personally, so I had just done my Final Fantasy VII piece, and I was like, hey man, here's my current work, and so he's like, yeah man, we can give you some work, you like the colors and the art and stuff, but I don't know, man. Cover 1 has a giant Optimus Prime on there, Mega Mario. I don't know how you don't get you don't get Transformers from that. Lady J, but see, I drew her with big boots, and I made her guns and weapons look like toys, and the G.I. Joe fans hated it. I even made the Paramount stars like
graphic design element. You know, I thought was clever, but no one gave two shits. Nobody cared.
Baymax says, what pens do I use? You use Posca for doing some bar tabletops. Which you pour rid of, these things are expensive. Well, right here for colors, I use. What are you talking about? For inking? I don't use Poscas for inking. For remarks, I use Poscas and Thule. But for these, for inking, these are just Copic multiliners. Last a good while. But I don't do any like real coats when I like color with Poscas and stuff. I do scribbly. And I do a watercolor base too, like on the commission. This is a test. This is like with a watercolor base and Posca and Thule on top. It's not perfect. I was trying different things, but it will look pretty good when I'm all done. But these right here are just Copic multiliners, and this is a Sharpie fine liner. This is non-fade. This is fade resistant. Archival. And I've just gotten comfortable with the nib on it. Like it's. And this is a zebra. Some Chinese zebra, see? Zebra 150, I think. It's like a bendy. It's not quite like a brush pen. It just has like a bendy tip. These will not work on resin. When I need to use a pen on a surface, like when I'm doing like Posca stuff, and I need to draw ink over it, I use Uniballs. Uniball pen. Because the nib, it won't dry out or nothing. These right here. The Uniball Vision. Waterproof fade-proof. I use this on top of the acrylic. Because there's no nib for it to dry out. You use these or even the Sharpie on top of acrylic pens and it will just sap the nib right out. You don't want to do that. You'll be like, there's all my money down the drain. That's not good. G.I. Joe is a cartoon. Not to these people. To these people, G.I. Joe's life. So, yeah. I mean, the Transformers are a toy line, but the minute you start drawing them like toys, hot shit for it. I'm just like, stay away. Hey, what's up, Bespin? You're always welcome to come on and chat if you want, dude. You know, call in the Discord or something if you ever want to shoot the shit.
It's 4:30 a.m. Oh well. Why are you up? All good, man. It's all good. Hey, if you ever want to do it during the day, like Santa time, we can do that then, dude. Just let me know. You know, I can just switch over to doing an hour. Sketch and chat if you ever want to. You ever feel like just complaining about Marvel movies or something? Or Disney's we forfeit your life because you once, bought a tram ride ticket. You shopped at the Disney store once. So now we can murder your firstborn and commit prima nocta, you know. Otherwise, man, I'll definitely see you on Fortnite, dude. Saturday or Sunday. No stress, dude. Santa time. Yeah, there's a guy named Star Wars Santa who does a show around 10 a.m. or noon ish. So sometimes Bespin goes on there and talks. Bespin Bulletin. If you guys want real Star Wars insider stuff, go to Bespin Bulletin, man. He's got it. He's got it. He's even been in the fields taking snaps of stuff, you know? Bespin's good peoples. The Disney thing is genuinely infuriates you. It is. It's crazy, right? Like Campy did a video today trying to break it down. He was basically saying that they were using an excuse to force an arbitration because they don't actually own the restaurant. They just lease it, so they didn't actually do it. But I'm like, yeah, but that's such a dumb PR move, guys. Like, come on, you know? There's got to be a million other ways to get an arbitration without using that bullshit excuse. Come on. Mad Viking Comics, what's up? I mean, a EULA. A EULA for something. I mean, it's really what they're just trying to force an arbitration, but it's just like, come on, you know. It's a bullshit lawyer move, and I'm assuming someone did not approve that, and they're gonna catch shit for it. But at the same time, it's like, well, they deserve the shitstorm. I'm not gonna go over here and like defend that. You know. Hey, thanks, Mad Viking. Appreciate it. I'm just over here doing the version of it that I just don't have time to do because I have to get the book done. So I thought, well, rather than me do this, I could have done this last summer on my own, but I thought, why don't I just wait till the book's done and then I'll just stream me inking the pages traditionally versus doing them. I probably have all of it done by now if I had just started a year ago. But I was like, I'll just wait and we can all just stream it together. Yeah. almost going to wrap up this portion of the show, and then I'm going to move over to working on spawn kills every spawn off camera, and I'll put up a video of me drawing the cover. I've been recording videos, not of everything, but of stuff as I work. So I'll be playing videos behind me while I work on new stuff that I can't share. Bespin asks, Matt says, do I draw it traditionally or digital? The book now I'm drawing digitally and then doing the pages traditionally. Normally I would do everything traditionally and then digitally ink it to give it that refined edge and layer everything, but there's no time for that. So I just decided instead to do the traditional part after the issues are printed, you know, so I can stream them. Like, so because I work both ways, I work traditionally and digitally, so it doesn't really. But there's so much stuff, man. Like, I keep everything layered for the colorist, like the splatters, the logos, all the characters, the backgrounds. You know, the amount of stuff I'm putting in, it would be a nightmare to be like, here you go, you know. I would still have to digitally ink this sort of stuff for it to work out. I mean, those Transformers covers I did were drawn traditionally, and it was a nightmare to put them all together and piece them out, and it would have been easier to have them separated. But such is life. Am I going to see Alien this weekend? No, I'm not going to see Alien this weekend. I hear it's great, but I'm just not in the mood to watch people get ripped to shreds right now. I have to be in a real specific mood for that. I saw the trailer in the theaters when we went to go see the Deadpool Wolverine 3D last week. So I was like, well, you know, it didn't make me want to, you know, I think it's gonna be a good movie. I just have to be in a mood for horror. If it's action with horror, like Aliens, that's different. But this is more like horror. So I'm like, well, I gotta be in a certain mood for that. Oh yeah. So that's why I was telling you, it's like I had started it and it was just sitting there for a year, man. Because I was like, I'll just get to finishing this stuff, you know, live. So, but I send them the pages, so like that's why they printed the. Hold on, guys, I'll show you. Give me 1 second. So they printed the traditional lines as an exclusive variant for San Diego Comic-Con. So, but I drew it all digitally. I did the traditional lines after the fact on my own time because there was no time in my schedule to do it all the way I would normally do it. See? There you go. So, such is life. But this is what it would have looked like anyway. I just would have traced this digitally and redrawn it. I would never print this in the book. It may look fine here, but it doesn't actually work out. I've tried many times. If I were a more talented inker, maybe, but I'm just not. I can get the lines I want digitally. Here, it's just, I do gestural sketchies. My stuff's sketchy. What I call sketchcraft. I'm sketchy. Skit. Alright, so it's kind of dumb, but there's no way to kill the monster. Then the horror kind of loses something for you. It's one thing for an immortal demon to torture families, and for an alien to terrorize a bunch of scientists. I don't know. I think it looks cool. It's just, I gotta be in the mood. That's why I think the best crossover audience is for comic book stuff is horror, because horror, the superhero is basically the villain, right? That's the one with the superpowers. And in the superhero movie, generally it's the heroes who have the powers, right? I mean, there's super villains, but you're not really following their journey, generally speaking. So. My digital inks look pretty traditional-ish. So it is what it is. Basically, I got to draw the book twice. You know, I technically don't have to do every page. I could just do the killer ones, but we'll see. You know. But I just thought it'd be better to be able to do this stuff live and sitting in my room doing it by myself. Again. And I get to add all my red shade and stuff, which makes the lines come to life, which would be a pointless endeavor if I were using these. I'm just finishing up this. What shows am I doing? None. Doing no shows the rest of the year. I don't do shows. I don't got the time for it. I only went to Comic-Con because they were debuting the book. And I'm from San Diego. So I'm doing a local signing at my local comic book shop this weekend. And then once for after each issue comes out. But that's it. No shows. I haven't done a convention since 2017. I don't make money doing them. Just here online. Yeah. I gotta get, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do about signings. I'm gonna put what I have up on the store, but when people are like, I want to send you stuff, I'm like, I gotta get a P.O. box, man. And like, they're charging a lot of money for those these days, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do about all that. Not a lot of signed books gonna be done, folks. Put it that way. Yeah. Sorry.
I am not spending thousands of dollars to go to conventions that I don't make money on. I'm almost halfway through the 5th book. So we would have been done by now, but there was a delay on the script for a bit on issue 5 and the convention circuit and my niece's wedding cut in. So I'll be done within a month or so. Plenty of time, but all right, let me switch over to doing that now. Give me 1 second. This if is not so yeah, I got time, dude. So but time creeps up on you, so I gotta get busy. It's all laid out, and you know, I got the cover, and I'm about a third of the way through the first part of the book, and then you know, I gotta work weekends now, you know, which sucks. You know, that's why I tend to go, yeah, you gave me the script late because now I gotta work weekends, John. I like him, but I give him shit over that one. I'm like, thanks for that, bud. Let's see. Oh, doing that? All right. To be fair, folks, there was only supposed to be 3 issues, but they bumped it up to 5. So, what am I gonna do? Oh, come on. All right. There we go. So that's me doing the cover digitally. As you can see, Photoshop's doing all the work for me. I don't actually draw anything. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be wild, Brandon. It's gonna be wild, dude. You know. Somebody says no Spawn fan. We actually buy this. Yeah, it's gonna be cool, and they're gonna. I mean, you know, I've given them plenty of supplemental materials to put in there too, and so I'll send them as much of everything I have too in terms of like their traditional lines. Whatever's completed, I'll send. I don't even know if I'll ink every part of the book. I might just do the best pages, you know, because some pages like I don't know, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I'm in no hurry. If I have to spend another year doing it before I ever put pages up for sale, then I will, you know. Not in a rush. The only thing I have to ink somewhat faster are the covers. I want to make sure those are all done. So I got to get the fourth cover traditionally done. So as soon as I'm done with the spread, I'm going to get the fourth cover done. And then whenever they finally solicit the fifth cover, we'll get that done too. Because I can't show that off before they do. Oh yeah, Templesmith's got promoted like right at the dot, right? Like right at the day. So he did a SpawnCon cover, which is awesome. Super awesome. Yeah, they told me Templesmith. They told me who's doing the variant covers, but I have no idea what they're doing. So it's super fun to see, you know. I think there's just one variant cover per issue, so it's not overkill, which is nice. You know.
But right now, I am drawing Monolith. See, I can describe what I'm doing to some extent. Here's essentially what Venom spawn, essentially. Oh, those spinny wheel things. Motion lines. Inking with motion lines. Not my strong point. Hey, what's up, Kyle? A character. Not taking on any projects, but if you mean like, I don't, OCs? I don't know. No, I don't really draw OCs, my friend. Unless you mean just like a regular commission. But yeah, I got a lot scheduled after Spawn, but everything hinges on them doing another one. If they want to do another one, that's my priority, and if they don't, then I have some personal projects I'm going to be getting to. That's my next thing. Did you like Alien, Kyle? Commission. Yeah, as long as it's not an OC, man. I don't do OCs. So you know. But if it's just like fan art, then yeah, no doubt, dude. We'll hook that up. It'll be fun. I think what I'm gonna do is get the covers inked, and then I'll open up a couple commission slots, and then I'll get back to doing more inks. You know. It was decent. First 2/3 were pretty great. The last third didn't work. Original characters. Usually when someone says they have a character they want me to tackle, they're kind of talking about their own. I'm just trying to clarify that, just in case. So what happens, and I'm not saying this is the case, but what happens a lot is guys with indie books want to be like, yeah, draw my character, and then it somehow becomes a cover for their book. Or there was one guy who was super nice, but like I did my version of his characters, and then he wanted to do a whole book series using my designs. And I was like, no, you can't. I wasn't a character design project. It was, so I've just put a kibosh on doing any original characters. And I told him if he did, like, I will literally get a lawyer. I hate to do that, but I was like, that's not right. Yeah, I'm just clarifying. Oh yeah, Boba Fett. Been a while. I did a StarCraft Mandalorian mix once for a buddy. I would not take mixes like that again because it was kind of a pain in my ass, but yes, sir. Yeah, that would be fun. Oh, nice. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but there's some Star Wars related issue parody stuff in issue 2. Put it that way. You'll see. It'll be fun. Super fun. Yeah, I collect like the Mirage NECA figures, you know what I mean? Like I like the painted lines and stuff on it. That's my last real collecting thing.
Dude, they're doing that OG April with the perm. Can't wait. Can't wait. It's gonna be so awesome. You've been looking avoided NECA so far. I'm telling you, it's not easy, man. Like, I think the quality of the build for the price is excellent. I mean, if you can get them for their actual retail price, it's a good deal. The problem is when these do these fucking online exclusives. You know what I mean? And it's just like, Jesus, man. And the fact that they haven't released an OG Red Shredder since 2017, and those things go for $500. But they are doing the Karai Shredder. I gotta figure they got another OG Red Shredder coming soon. So, but these are the toys I always wanted when I was a kid, based off the Mirage comics. So that's, it's like, what am I gonna do? I mean, I can't believe I got a Baxter stock, a Mirage Comics Baxter Stockman, a Mirage Comics Triceraton, the Time Chick, was it Romero? The old devil dude from the Cerebus. I wish they would do a Cerebus. I know they can't, but I wish there was a NECA Cerebus to go with it. Somebody says, did I see that Tango game work? Yeah. So, good for them. They got done wrong by Microsoft. It makes me worry about Double Fine a lot, I only bought an Xbox because they bought Double Fine. I wanted to support, but it's like, the way they've been dropping studios left and right, I don't know. They got that Leatherhead, the Mirage Leatherhead coming out, dude. That thing looks so freaking dope. I love the really big matte finishes on those figures with the black lines. They feel great. Best action figure in the market, in my opinion. Packaging's always great. See, if NECA did the Clone Wars cartoon figures, not the CGI cartoon, but the 2D one with those matte paints and the lines, I would buy those in a heartbeat. The Gendy one. Same with Samurai Jack,
think the only video game I'm looking forward to for the remainder of the year is Dragon Quest III HD. The one I'm looking forward to. The most. That's it. I remember Sideshow actually did some animated statues of the Clone Wars stuff. Those are pretty dope. My favorite was Electric Tiki. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember Electric Tiki, but they were doing like these animated statues, animated style statues. So like they did Marry with Children and stuff. And like I got the Bundy statue here. The Bundy. The Bundy. Super dope, dude. I always keep them right wherever I go. Always wanted the peg, but I never. They're too expensive now. I mean, that one I got for free. My buddy gave it. I couldn't afford at the time. They were 150. Now they go for like 500. But they did like animated Buffy style statues too. They were so good. You know, I like it stylized. Somebody says, wonder what happened to that Sony project from Gendy. Got canceled. The one with the dog. 2D one. They canceled that. Mad Viking says, I don't know how they play anymore. We have a Madden tournament. Bars are open. Oh, that's fun. Gentle Giant. It did the Clone Wars. Yeah, I thought those were very good. Yeah, I don't have a ton of time. I play Fortnite like with Bestman, the guy who was on earlier. We're buds, so like we'll play. We have a group of people. We'll play Fortnite for fun. You know, no build, just the way to like hang out. But on my own, I play anything Double Fine does, and Dragon Quest and Mario. Oh, and Grand Theft Auto, but it's been so long, so I can make that way. But we got another one next year, maybe coming out. I beat Grand Theft Auto 5 twice. So. But yeah, if Double Fine makes it, I plays it. The Turtles 2D game was great. So there's a good pixel art game too, or a good hand drawn game. Future Rage 4 was dope. Long as I get 4 to 6 hours of gameplay out of it, it justifies the price for me. Because a 2-hour movie's $20 times 3. 6 hours. I figure it's about the same price. But I do finish like Mario's and Grand Theft Autos and Dragon Quests. It took me a year to beat Dragon Quest 11. Mega says, "Oh yeah, Dragon Quest mentioned. Ever play the spin-off like the Builders? I did play Builders, but you couldn't turn the fucking music off, dude. It was driving me nuts. I would have completed Builders, but I can't stand the MIDI music, man. I need to be able to turn that off. And I need the sound on because the monsters, the way all that stuff worked. So it was really annoying. You could take it down to like 1 where you can barely hear it.
angered me to no end. I liked the first the Dragon Quest Heroes. I thought that was fun. And the Slime Quest games on the GBA I thought were fun. Like where you got like the big tanks and stuff. But all the recent Joker or Monster games, they're just graphically not interesting to me. They're like budget Switch games, and I just don't really care for the look of them. But Dragon Quest 3, look at that game. Look how beautiful it looks. I don't think I've finished games since college. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't regret not finishing. I mean, the games are too long, and we have lives. But I figure, long as I'm able to put in, you know, anywhere between let's say 4 to 8 hours, I feel I got my money's worth. You know, I'm fine with it. Sometimes I'll start a game, and if I want to finish it, I'll put on a Let's Play. You know, that's what I did with like Metroid Dread. I'm like, yeah, I want this game to be better graphically, so I'll just watch a Let's Play for the remainder of this, you know? Call of Duty. Dude, it's hard competitive games to be good at them, you know? Somebody says, I've been playing this indie 3D platform where the sprites are all in 2D called Demon Turf. I'll check it out. Unicorn Overlord, that was one I started, but I just don't have the time to finish it. So I've been doing Let's Plays. I love Vanillaware. And it's a great game. Um, if I could control the battles like tactics, I would probably have finished it on my own. But the autoplay feature, it's the ogre battle thing. You either love it or don't. They did a really great version of it. I think it's better than ogre battle, but I would still prefer a tactic style situation where I'm controlling the battles, or Shining Force style. Yeah. Can't get the toggles down. Used to the arrows. Yeah, on the Xbox, I tend to play Fortnite with the keyboard and mouse. So if it's a first-person shooter, I need to use a mouse and keyboard. If it's like a third-person adventure game, I can use controller, like Mario and stuff. But first-person, like some reason, I get motion sickness with the controllers. Even though Fortnite isn't first-person, I still prefer the mouse and keyboard because it moves as quick. The movement in it is as quick as a first-person shooter. But Grand Theft Auto, man, driving and stuff, all 100% controlling. 100%. See, I like things that make me laugh, you know? So Dragon Quest makes me laugh. And Grand Theft Auto makes me laugh. Anything Tim Schafer writes makes me laugh. I wish they'd put more of the humor from Superstar Saga in the mainline Mario games. But Unicorn really came out when it? Oh, months ago, man. Yeah, months ago, dude. I want to say like 4 or 5 months ago. Yeah, dude, pick it up, my friend. Pick it up. It's great. It really is. It's just I've played enough where I'm like, okay, I can watch someone, finish it off. Yeah, I've beaten Odin Sphere 3 times. Odin Sphere and Miramasa. Miramasa I beat on the Wii, and then the fan upres version you can download. Oh, and of course, Dragon's Crown, which I loved. Some people didn't like it, but I thought it was great. Plus, guys, when I'm sitting here for like 12 hours a day or 10 to 12 hours a day, Let's Plays eat up a lot of time, man. You know, it's just unfortunately you get a lot of people that don't know how to talk, so it's hard to find someone that I can listen to. But once I do, like I try to support them so they keep playing games. Sometimes I'll put the ones without commentary on too, just leave it on. Fine. But sometimes, you're just sitting here, you're like, you don't even hear another person's voice for 10 hours a day. You're like, okay. Mega Mario says, love Miramasa. One of the few games I wish my Wii still worked. Yeah, it was weird having because you had to plug the controller in to the back of the Wii and it just looked like a big dick between the controller and the Wii hanging down. I was like, are they fucking with me, dude? Like, like seriously, Nintendo, seriously. I haven't played a Call of Duty since maybe 3 on the PC. Um, I'm not the biggest fan of the series, but I'm telling you, man, if this shit in Russia goes down, Ukraine pulls off a huge win, and they put a curse, the Ukraine push into Russia map. I'll play that, 100%. But I will never deal with the physical Wii ever again. I can't stand that stupid bar I had to have hooked up to a TV from 2006 to 2014. You know, that sensor bar. I can't stand it. So any Wii games that I play now are through emulation. I just I never want to deal with it ever again. But yeah, they made an emulation. They made a texture pack upres. They 1080p'd all the assets and even touched up a few of them so you can get it in high res since Vanillaware doesn't seem to want to do that. I mean, they made the 720p version, but they upres them to 1080p. There might be a 4K too. I don't know, but there's definitely a 1080p
version of that game. And he could write a bunch of call. I know, right? The whole Ukraine. I know. I don't want to do it at their plight, but if Ukraine pulls off a big win, then absolutely. I would not want to see Microsoft Activision profit off, those people suffering. But if they pull off a win, my God, you know. Negamar says apparently the bar has just 2 infrared lights. Yeah, I know. I don't want candles on in my living room. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I was the biggest proponent of the Wii or Project Revolution and everything, but it was trying to do motion control like VR controllers, way before and without a proper budget. And so, now I have VR. Motion controllers work in VR, but on the Wii they do not work. I don't care for waggle. I don't care for waggle. Don't care for that stupid light sensor. And I don't understand why they did this, but it's been proven that the Wii has some stupid filter that happens when it's processing an image. So you actually get a worse visual clarity image than on the GameCube. You explain that one, man. Like it blurs, and they can turn it off now in emulation. And you're like, wow, the game's super crisp. And they turn it on to blur it out. And I'm just like, what a fucking dumb move. But the Wii did have some really great games like Electrobytes. I liked Electrobytes a lot. I liked the Sight Truck. I actually liked Stern Pinball. That was like the best way to play pinball for the longest time. But now that I have Stern Pinball in VR, like, oh well. Obviously, the Mario Galaxy games are great. Especially the second one. They're just blurry. Always like one step forward, one step backward with Nintendo, you know? I mean, you didn't get a bigger Nintendo fan than me when the 64 came out. I bought into all the bullshit. But I even worked retail and sold those, and I was just selling 64s left and right to people. But by the time Final Fantasy VII and Tactics came out, I could see like there was glaring problems with that system beyond just the storage problem, which was a major issue. The Nintendo 64 doesn't have a sound chip. Doesn't have a sound chip. You know? And it's games always sound like they're coming out of a tin can, and they were really bad looped bullshit quality songs until Factor 5 came over and ported all their MIDI tools and compression tools to give decent sound to that system. But the 64 has a better sound chip, has a Sony sound chip compared to the 64, the Super Nintendo, you know? So how does something built in 1990 have a better, audio processing than something built in 1996? I mean, it's so weird to me. And then Sony figured out dual shock, which made a difference. DualShock made a difference. The C buttons are not better than 2 analogs. So I don't completely blame Nintendo for that because that's like an iterative thing. Like, okay. But they could have put out a controller that, had dual. But they waited till the GameCube, so 7:30.
I need to get up and stretch, so give me like 5-10 minutes. I'll be right back. Alrighty. All right, let's get back to work. And I make myself a little low carb shake. Really nice. Tastes like a Frosty, but it's only like 100 calories, like 40 ounces. Mostly ice, but tastes really good. Alrighty. We are keeping busy. Keeping busy. Sometimes I gotta give it a second pass, folks. You know, you draw one thing and you're like, that's the thing, but the shapes are not lively, so sometimes it's just part of an arm. I'll take part of an arm, cut it out, put it back under, and draw over it and give it a second pass. That's really the benefit with digital. I can't do that with ink. It's like I'd have to light box it. And I have. I've done all that shit. I'm like, nope. I used to do it in pencil, and I gave myself carpal tunnel. Big carpal tunnel doing that. Don't blame artists for using digital. It just sucks for original art. That's why I draw the book twice, man. And to be honest, dude, here's the thing. Here's what's crazy about the piece you've inquired about. I drew, like, you see how I'm doing this here, this cover? I did lines with my digital pen at 70% opacity, right? That's how I call it my roughy lines or whatever. And then I turn it red and I use my inking brushes to ink it. All right. That's what I did on the SpawnCon piece. So technically, when I do the traditional art part, I'm drawing it the third time. Now, this became a problem, and I knew it was going to be a problem, or on issue 1, but I didn't have a solution for it. And so issue 2, same thing, whole same process. But I did the cover last on issue 2. So when it came to re-inking issue 2, the cover, I was like, why? I don't feel like, man, these lines look good, but they're just not, because they're not 100% opacity, and you can't just duplicate them, and that doesn't work. You get different line qualities. I have like really strong, thick, and thin. That doesn't work. So what I did was, in Photoshop, they have these adjustment layers. And so I used the adjustment layers to basically clamp down my roughy lines and turn them into bitmap lines. And then I just put the inks, my ink brushes, over that to clean up and add ink texture in thick and thin. So I get that textured edge, which I really like, that textured edge. So I've managed to like save myself time doing it again. But I then put that time that I saved back into drawing things in the book. So the layouts get crazier by the 4th issue. Yeah, but at least I'm not drawing it 3 times now. So now I'm just doing it twice. The digital time and then the traditional time. But for the first 2 issues, all I've drawn everything 3 times. You know?
But I've been doing this process since 98 of printing out my art and drawing over it. So like the drawing in the computer thing didn't become an option until 2008 when Cintiq V2. I tried Cintiq V1 in 2004. It cost too much and it didn't work as good. The V2 went great. And what was awesome about it is I can use my whole arm to draw. So I'm using my arm to draw, not my wrist. So I'm able to get like swoops and long, the way you're supposed to draw, like the way an animator would draw, in that sense. And I don't have any wrist or forearm pain because of it. Now the only thing I can get is soreness here because my arm is like fixed here for 10 hours. So when I take my break, I go down there and do stretches and squats and stuff like that, and just to loosen the arm up and get the blood flowing in the legs. Nothing about this process is really conducive to monthly comics. Like, it would be impossible. But I ain't doing monthly comics, so everything will get drawn. Everything will look good. The book looks great. The original art looks great. And I don't have to worry about trying to find a way to fix the original art in colors and blah 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 blah. Everything works. I just have to train people on how I do it, because I was like, do I hide this? And I'm like, I'm not hiding how I draw, man. Like, people get it or don't. If they want to come here and draw the book 3 fucking times, then they can get back to me. see if that's fun. So the only fun part about it is now I get to draw the original art with all you folks, So that's super fun. Because it wasn't much fun doing it by myself again. I'll be honest with you. I was like, oh, great. I'm doing it again by myself. But being able to stream it, well, that's a whole nother thing. But what I don't do with digital is I don't start Frankensteining panels, where you take a hand and a face of something and reuse it and shit. Like, I don't do any of that shit. I have a ethical code against that. You go down that path and you'll start shortcutting everything. All right. Later, dude. Peace. Peace, Rooney. Forget how I drew the pouches. Nope.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Where we at? Um, okay. Maybe floor. Oh, G spawn. G spawn. GB. GB. Alright. Later, B. Later, dude.
Alrighty, where are we at? 3 hours? I think that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Let me see where we're at on the video. It doesn't tell me where it's at. Okay.
All right, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and just wrap up this stream here at the 3-hour mark. I'll probably be back on tomorrow. We'll do more, at least an hour, right? We'll do. I just don't know. I'm trying to figure out when a good time to do the live drawing is. So tonight I just grouped it together. Might just do the live rat drawing tomorrow for an hour on my own anyway, but we'll see. And then I will be streaming more stuff as I go. I gotta put together a few more videos of some stuff. But I do have some of the traditional stuff on this recorded. Let me just see if it'll play. Figure out which one is. Let's see here. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't let me choose. All right. Oh. There you go. We'll get more stuff going. So I got another couple hours here by myself, but I'm gonna put on some podcasts and I gotta get some stuff done. So all right, everybody.